Okay, first of all, I'm going to go over some brush tool secrets here. Now, the very first thing you can do with the brush tool, first of all, you need to select the brush tool from the menu. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to act like that. I've seen videos where they actually talk like that, and I go, you got to be kidding me. I was like, step number one, please come up here to the File menu and select New. When the new dialog comes up, enter a name and select the. It's like, you gotta be kidding me. I'm gonna fall asleep. It's time to fall asleep. It's time to fall asleep. Everybody wake up. Come on, let's get on with the program here. I'm gonna show you some really cool brush tips, okay? Now, for those beginners out there, this is gonna be really good for you. Some of those advanced users out there already might know how to do some of these things, but let me go ahead and show you what I'm talking about. Go right over to the toolbar right here and select the brush tool, okay? After you do that, come right over the image and start painting on the image just like this. Okay, now a lot of times when we want to select or set the size of the brush, we come all the way up here to the options bar and select a different size brush, and then we'll go ahead and we'll just double click to select it. But there's a really easy way. Let's say you're working on a really large image in Photoshop. I'm working down here in the corner, and I want to quickly get to the brush sizes. All I have to do is just hold down the control key on the keyboard and then click the mouse, and I can see all my brush tips right here, right where I'm painting on the image. So I don't have to come all the way up here on the options bar to select the size of the brush I want. I can just hold down the control key and click the mouse, and that's right click on the PC, and I can have all my options right here. So you can see how fast it is. See, I can right click right here if I have a PC, and there it is. Bam, it's right there. So that's totally cool. And let me show you something else. Now, if you look what I see my brush right here, I have, it looks like a cross, right? Well, if you ever want to see what size brush you're working with, go ahead and just turn the caps lock key on and look at that, and you can see the size of the brush. Okay, and this is totally awesome because it doesn't matter any time I resize the brush. Look, it's just going to show me that it's smaller, and I'll make it smaller, and so we can always have a preview. And this is how I like to work. I don't like to work with this little cross here because I can't see the size of the brush. So if that ever annoys you or anything, go ahead and press the caps lock key on the keyboard. But let me show you something else. Go into the preferences inside Photoshop. I'm going to come up here to Photoshop preferences, and I'm going to select display and cursors, okay? Now, preferences on the PC is probably underneath the edit menu, I'm pretty sure. But anyways, so inside the preferences and inside the display and cursor preferences, look right down here where it says painting cursors. Okay, now if you want Photoshop, if you quit Photoshop right now, or let's say that every time you use the paint tool or the brush tool, you want the size, you want it to show the brush size, and you don't want it to show the precise size, you can actually just click on brush size right here and see that, and it'll give you a little preview. Or you can select the standard, which is kind of like the old school Photoshop icon that they usually have, that we used to be able to work with. But now we can actually see the brush size that we're working with in Photoshop. And if you want that always to be there every time you use the brush tool, to just go ahead and select that right there. Okay? And so those are some helpful brush tool tips when you're working in Photoshop, and hopefully they'll make your life a little bit easier. So don't forget those. They're really handy. We'll see you later.